Hello and welcome to Nostalgia Potpourri, a sentimental mixture of the retro. I upload weekly, so click subscribe for more videos just like this one. In today's episode, let's find out what the shortest TV show of 1986 was, and how a national tragedy led to the show's cancellation after just one episode. CBS decided to provide a vehicle for a legendary singer to showcase more than her amazing voice. She was also a decent actress. In fact, just a few years before, she won a Tony Award for her role in the hit musical Pearly. The singer, Melba Moore, already had lots of television experience on a variety of TV shows, including hosting a TV variety show with entertainer Clifton Davis. The TV show was a huge opportunity for Melba Moore, who was already well known. She was popular and very talented. It would be special for her because the main character was named after her, as was the show's title, and the main cast was kept small, with most of the storylines revolving around the main character, Melba Patterson. Moore would also be in a positive role. As a newly divorced single mom on the show, she's beautiful and fashionable, and she works a high-flying corporate job in New York City as director of the Manhattan Visitor Center. She's cheered on by her best friend, and she and her tween daughter have a lovely relationship. She even sang the show's theme song, We're Sisters, written by an Emmy Award-nominated composer, Joseph Curiali. The show boasted excellent writers, including Larry Belmagia, who wrote for all of the top shows at the time, Cheers, MASH, What's Happening Now, and Saved by the Bell. Playwright Dennis Danziger, who also wrote episodes of Taxi, Kate and Allie, and My Sister Sam. And Laurie Gelman, who wrote for Laverne and Shirley, Alf, and Roseanne. All talented writers who wrote for really popular shows. It all sounds like a formula for a TV hit, doesn't it? Well, it wasn't. The show's cast was, of course, Melba Moore as Melba Patterson, Gracie Harrison as Susan Slater, Melba's best friend, Barbara Meek as Melba's mother, Rose, and Jamila Perry as Melba's daughter, Tracy. The Melba character also had a couple of actors who might be familiar faces to viewers, Lou Jacoby and Evan Morand, who both had various roles in a wide variety of TV shows and movies, especially Jacoby, who had over 70 acting credits to his name before he died. The show's premise wasn't uninteresting. A divorced single mom of one daughter is navigating life after the ending of her marriage. She has the support of her reliable mom and her best friend, who was raised with her as her sister. The plot even had some interesting twists, I think. Melba's mom, Rose, is a black woman, but she adopted Melba's friend Susan, a white woman, when Susan was a child. So that could have led to some interesting storylines, but being a black woman in a white male-dominated industry could have also had some progressive episodes. And Jamila Perry, who played the 9-year-old daughter, she was an adorable little actress. I would have been interested to see how her character grew. So what went wrong? Well, quite a few things actually. For starters, the show didn't test well. In fact, a couple of viewers who were part of the show's screen test said that the show's canned laughter and Moore's seeming discomfort on the screen just wasn't enjoyable TV watching. Early reviews of the show were even worse. In his review for the Chicago Tribune titled, What's Black and White and Silly All Over? Melba, Clifford Terry said in part that Melba is an unyielding series of 1- and 2-liners wrapped around a preposterous premise. Ouch. A review in the Los Angeles Times wasn't much better. That review quipped, Melba Moore looks jittery in the premiere of her new comedy series Melba, which takes to the air at 8 tonight. It's easy to guess why. She'd read the script. Double ouch. The show's theme song was not your typical memorable sitcom hit either. In fact, it was kind of awful. But with time, the cast may have found their rhythm, Moore may have gotten used to being the show's backbone, and the theme song could have been rewritten, but Melba never got the chance to see what might have been. Melba was going up against enormous competition. The most popular shows of 1986 included massive hits, shows that we still love today: Family Ties, The Golden Girls, and The Cosby Show. They each had catchy theme songs, brilliant writers, and were garnering millions of fans. The regular night that CBS had selected for Melba would have pitted against ABC's Who's the Boss and NBC's The A-Team, another couple of massive hits. But even the stiff competition may not have sunk the show if it wasn't for the date its pilot aired. That event I mentioned, the national tragedy that I mentioned at the outset, well, Melba first aired on January 28, 1986. That's right, the day of the Challenger space shuttle disaster. You see, earlier that day, the world watched live as the Challenger space shuttle lifted off for a historic flight. Unfortunately, just under 2 minutes later, thousands watched the Challenger break apart, killing the entire shuttle crew. Never before had so much of the nation watched a space launch like this one, but this shuttle mission was special because school teacher Krista McAuliffe was on board. She'd been chosen to be the first teacher to go to space. So many schools, including my elementary school, were broadcasting the launch live. I remember all of us children excitedly watching the television set as the space shuttle launched. We cheered, and some of us were still clapping and cheering as the horrible, what we thought was an explosion, but it was actually the shuttle coming apart. It filled that same screen. A couple of the teachers actually screamed out loud, and some of the older children who understood what had happened immediately began to cry. And I remember being confused, but I quickly realized what everyone else was beginning to realize, and I cried too. I just saw 7 people get killed. It was horrible. And the impact that had on my small school was significant. So you can just imagine the impact on the whole country. Everyone was devastated. A survey once revealed that about 20% of Americans saw the disaster on live television, and another 80% heard about it within the hour that it happened. Could there have been worse timing for a new TV sitcom like Melba? With the horrific Challenger explosion, well, it wasn't actually an explosion, but it seemed to be an explosion. It was broadcast on live television nationwide. News stations were reviewing it, analyzing the footage, talking about what had gone wrong, and the nation was mourning the loss of those 7 brave people. So viewers were not in the mood for the pilot episode of a comedy TV show that night. CBS reacted very quickly. The show was yanked and canceled, and the remaining 5 episodes were kind of offhandedly aired on Saturday mornings until all 6 of them had been shown. A little more about the cast. Barbara Meek was probably best recognized for playing Ellen Canby on the TV show Archie Bunker's Place, an All in the Family spinoff. Meek also appeared in over 100 theater shows with the Trinity Repertory Company. She died in 2015 at 81 years of age. Gracie Harrison was in several commercials and other TV shows, including Star Trek Next Gen, and is now the director of volunteer services at Smiles Change Lives, a nonprofit that helps low-income children gain access to orthodontic care. Jamila Perry was in a few other shows and movies as a child and has voice acting experience as well, but she no longer seems to be part of the entertainment industry. Melba Moore said in a recent interview that she's just trying to live a simple life and stay physically healthy in what she called her senior years. She plans to return to the entertainment industry full-time. She endured many difficulties throughout her career, including bankruptcy after her ex-husband lost her earnings in a Ponzi scheme. But she seems to have true resilience, and she still has that amazing voice. A show with so much potential just never had a chance. Melba was aired at the time of one of the worst disasters in U.S. history, and it never recovered from the blow. Please like if you liked this video and share it with someone else who will. Thank you for spending a little time walking down memory lane with me.